2006 Volkswagen Beetle. It's a 1600 petrol Lunar edition. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. We start on this front driver's corner. There is a small scratch there in the bumper. Rest of the wing itself's good. The arch is nice and clean. It's got a set of VW alloys that have been painted black on it. They are 16 inch alloys. Been painted black, looks quite good with the red paint. This wing, like I say, is all nice. There's a couple of little touch-ins there on the bottom of what would be the A-pillar where it meets the driver's wing. The sill itself is nice and clean. The top of it does have a little bubble there, just above the driver's door. Could do with a nice valet this car, but other than that, it's all one colour. It's nice, pretty clean for what it is. Wing mirror itself is nice and tidy. Nothing really to note on the driver's door, nice and clean. Even the leading edge is good. On that rear quarter, again, there's no real marks or anything on that. Coming up that pillar, because it's quite a big pillar, you quite often see a bit of lack peel or something on here, but this is nice, especially in a red car. The roof itself, there's no sort of dents or ripples or anything in it. That's pretty clean. It's nice. It's not covered in sort of scratches or anything like that. There's a couple of marks here and there from bird poo, but again, a good clean and polish will probably get rid of most of that. This rear wing, again, that seems to be nice and clean. The arch is good. There's no sign of any corrosion or anything like that. On the rear of the car, it's got parking sensors on this one. And it does have nice, clean rear tail lights. Quite often on a Beetle, the lights are awful. They always need a polish, but actually they're really good. Little scratch here just on the lip where something's been put in the boot, I'm guessing. And a couple of scratches on this sort of flat panel here, but I mean, barely anything you can see. Again, probably a good polish to get rid of 99% of that. Onto the passenger side, you've got a slight scuff here where it's sort of been brushed against something. Again, no signs of any corrosion or anything like that. There is a repair on this bottom bit of the sill here, which has been done. It's obviously never been cleaned off, but the colour's ever so slightly out, so you can sort of just see it if I move the camera around. But the rest of the sill is all nice. There's no sign of any corrosion or anything there. That rear passenger side quarter's all good. Again, it could do with a good cleaning. You've got that little sort of dirt in the seals and things like that. There's a little mark on the handle there if we're getting quite close. And then this front wing does have a small scratch on it here. Again, probably a good polish would make a big difference to that. Front headlights could do with a little polish as well. Standard thing on a Beetle, they always go a bit milky, but they do polish up well. Same story for the spotlights, for the fog lights. But other than that, it's a pretty standard, clean, original thing. Have a look at the interior. So, if you know a Beetle, they get a painted top of the door. That's all nice and clean. There's no sort of marks or chips or anything on that. Driver's seat itself's nice and tidy. There's no rips or tears or any stains or anything. There's no sort of nasty smells in here. Driver's side rear. Again, that's all nice and clean, just as you'd expect. Mileage wise, it's done 98,000 miles. We will detail in the description what we've got in the way of sort of service history and things like that. It was driven to us, it's always started fine and everything like that. The steering wheel itself doesn't show any real signs of any wear, neither does the dash, and the dash is massive on a Beetle. But there's no sort of marks or anything on there. Have a look in the boot. So it's got the parcel shelf there. That's not sort of faded or anything like that. That's quite good. In here is all nice and clean. There's no sort of stains or anything like that. Anything to worry about at all, really. Exactly what you'd expect. Look on the passenger side. Much the same story as the driver's side. Door card's nice and clean. There's no real marks across the top here. Passenger seat's all nice and clean. There's a tiny little mark there. I mean, I imagine it actually looks a lot worse on the camera than it does in person. You can barely notice it in person. Probably a good steam cleaner to get that out, I would think. Again, the rear's all nice and clean. So this car is a Lunar, so it gets heated seats, heated rear window, air conditioning, the MP3 CD player, and obviously your front fogs and things like that, electric windows, electric mirrors. Fairly decent spec. for this sort of Mark 1 shape of the new Minis. It's becoming quite a desirable car now. Have a look under the bonnet. Have to excuse the sunlight there, that's making a right old mess of the camera. Right, so there you go, 1.6 litre petrol engine. That looks all nice and tidy. We do have the cover for the battery box as well. It's in the back of the car. Start it up. Just have that little squeak on startup, which we've had a few of these sort of VWs, Audis that do that. Other than that, seems to run and drive fine. Like I say, it was driven to us. It does have a full MOT on it. It was just done last week, I believe. We will detail everything we've got for the car in the description. If you've got any questions or any inquiries, please get in touch. Thank you.